Hello and welcome to What the Hey. Thank you for joining me to learn the answer to a question that I received. And when I go to my notebook, I see that the question is written as, what the hey is Tamagotchi the movie? And this question comes from Mr. 2007, so hello to you, and thank you very much for the question. So in terms of a very basic answer and introduction to this question, I would say that Tamagotchi the movie is obviously an animated movie from the video game franchise that shares the message of taking responsibility and meeting new friends. So first and foremost, obviously this movie is based off of the very famous handheld video games called Tamagotchi, which were basically digital pets, and it was a big craze that started in 1996. If you're younger, you've actually probably heard of Tamagotchi recently. I think in the animated movie Turning Red, some of the characters have Tamagotchi, but this was just the first animated movie to talk about and kind of show what the game is about. So to go over some history and background details about this movie first, before later explaining the plot and everything, it was directed by Joji Shimura and written by Aya Matsui, and the actual people who produced it and kind of animated it would be OLM, which stands for Oriental Light and Magic, who you may or may not recognize animation style wise from Pokemon. They did a lot of that animated show and movie work. In terms of when this movie was shown to the public, it was released in Japan on December 15th of 2007, and then Japan got a DVD version of it in 2008. And then eventually there was an English, an Italian, as well as a Mandarin dub in 2009. So it took a little bit for other people to watch it, but eventually everyone could in 2009. If you're curious about whether or not you can actually watch it based on how long it is, it's only 88 minutes, which is basically an hour and 20-ish minutes, give or take, with the credits and everything, so it's really not that long. So now this is the part where I'm going to explain the plot in a very vague way. That way you can still watch it and kind of be surprised with what happens. But anyways, here we go. So basically the whole movie starts out with one of the main characters named Mamechi transporting a girl named Tanpopo from Earth into Tamagotchi through this transportation machine. And although Mamechi transporting Tanpopo to Tamagotchi basically was an accident, it ends up helping them both because they're about to become older siblings because their parents are having kids, so they're worried about their own personal issues about whether or not they're gonna be good enough. So they basically help out each other's fears and they become friends and they save Tamagotchi land because there's this whole issue with the sun in Tamagotchi leaving, so their Earth gets a cold and they have to take a rocket to give it some cough medicine to not make it sick, and then the characters get into a black hole and they also gotta get Tanpopo back to Earth. So it's a whole thing of the characters trying to help each other and becoming friends and taking responsibilities for their issues. So it's a great adventure. Now the film came out in 2007 and got onto DVD in 2008, and basically by that time the record in terms of how much it had made in Japan so far was about $6.7 million, I believe that's in USD, which is quite a lot. Because the video game franchise did so well and also people liked the movie in general, there was a sequel to it called Tamagotchi: Happiest Story in the Universe. So if you like the first movie, or if you end up liking it, there's another one you can watch. If I had to give a list of main characters from this movie, I would essentially say that there are 6. There are a lot of really cute characters in this movie, but there's a lot that really only say one line and they're really cool, but they don't really do that much. So I'm gonna give you the main 6. So these 6 characters would be Tanpopo, Mamechi, Memechi, Kuchipachi, Chamamechi, and Papa Mamechi. The really complicated thing with this is the fact that all of their names are so similar, but if you look on Wikipedia, they're all listed there. But all the names of these characters are so similar, I got confused sometimes, but it's okay. They're all really cute. Their designs are awesome. But anyways, I would say those are the main 6 because there's 3 Tamagotchi friend characters that hang out a lot, and then there's the Earth Girl Tanpopo, and then there's Mamechi's dad, who's this scientist, and he does a lot in the movie. So I would say arguably that those are the main characters. So going into my opinions with this movie, I would say that the animation is super cute. There's kind of a blend between 2D and 3D animation because most of it seems like it's hand-drawn and like animated with color and everything. But then occasionally with like the rocket that's animated, that seems to be in 3D. And there's just other random 3D moments with like vehicles and stuff that happen. But it doesn't look weird. Like all of it is really well done. So in regard to the actual plot of this movie, it's really easy to follow along with, but it's also very confusing. Like, there's some stuff that just doesn't really make sense. Like, you know, you got the character Tampopo that needs to go home, but sometimes things get messed up in the plot, and then Tampopo's like, that's okay, I don't have to get back home super fast. So I don't know why that happens, but for the most part, it's easy to understand, and it's really not that long of a movie. So there's like main plot points and minor stuff that happens, but easy to understand. I think the general audience for this movie is kids, so they don't make it very complicated. If I had to say who my favorite character from this movie was, I'd probably say it was Kuchipachi. I did not grow up playing Tamagotchi, so I wasn't familiar with really any of the characters. But I really like this one because he's green, he's cute, and a lot of what he does in the movie is just say random noises and like agree with the characters by like reiterating exactly what they said. In general, he's just a funny little guy. I really like him.
Kuchipachi, stop! That's not a real hamburger! They can't even go to the bathroom by themselves, Chi! Oh yeah, that's true. Take them away from you? Who, me? Yeah, Chi! I want to call you Tampopo-Chi if that's okay, Chi! Tampopo-Chi? What is that thing? It looks like a black hole. Black hole, Chi?
So the really fun thing about this request and the movie itself is the fact that if you personally want to watch it, you can do so for free. In order to answer this question, I was like, I really just gotta watch the movie so I can have like a valid opinion on it or just say stuff about the movie that I feel like is legit. So I found someone on YouTube called Berry Milk who has the full English dub on YouTube, and I will link that in the description. So if you want to watch it, you can. The night before writing all of this information down, I was like, I need something that I can do where my brain turns off and I'm just like watching something. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch the Tamagotchi movie, and now you can too. But I believe that is the answer to the question. And once again, if you want to look into any of the research I found, I always put the links to the websites I checked out. So if you want to do some edumacating and learning yourself, that will all be there. But I believe that is it. So thank you very much for watching. Bye!